everyone, it's Allison here, also known as Lasan Faye, and today I'm here with a brand new Zen Doodle with me video. In this video I'm going to finish out the Zen Art Challenge for the month of July. So I've got 9 little tangles to get through today, and as always, if you want to look into doing the Zen Art Challenge, I have a link to the Facebook group down in the description below. And also, I have a link to all my sources for the tangles that I'm doing in this video today. Alright, so there's a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and dive on in. The first tangle I have for you all today is called Temps, and it's by Tina Akua Hunziker. And what you want to start off by doing is creating a closed spiral. And how I recommend doing that is start in the center of the spiral and spiral outward. And once it's large enough for you, just have it meet back up with a previous part of the spiral. Alright, and from there, starting with your center point, what you're going to want to do is draw lines that go radially outward that have some space in between them. Now between any two pairs of lines that have been drawn, you're just going to do a little U that connects them. And then in the space between those U shapes and the original spiral that you drew, you just want to fill that in, the small space anyways. So that is all I'm going to do for Temps. There's a ton of different ways that I could choose to fill in the middle part here, but I'm actually really happy with how it looks right now, and so I'm going to leave it here and move on to the next tangle. The second tangle I have for you all today is called Pammi, and it is by Hanny Waldberger. So the way you want to get started with this one is you're going to start by drawing an upside down heart or a very curvy 6 where the 6 doesn't quite join back up. So that's one side of the heart. And if you're following the heart idea, you want to have it so that way the two sides of the heart don't meet. Alright, and from here, I'm just going to do a little U shape that goes most of the way to the middle, off of both sides, and then one that comes up in the center that connects them, kind of makes this little fleur-de-lis cutout in the middle there. And Pammi is one of those that you can chain, and so from here I can start from the swell of the heart portion of it and do another one, and just repeat the motions that I did earlier. And I'm just going to do one more for good measure. But you can include as many as you like. And yeah, this is a nice little border piece for any art piece that you're working on. You know, it could also be like a decoration, or you could incorporate it, say, into a hemline on a dress if you're drawing a dress. Just as a few examples. There's also a ton of ways you could choose to fill this in. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here and move on to the next tangle. The third tangle I have for you all today is called Ovolution by Sandra Chatelain. And the way you want to get started with this one is in the center of the space that you're working in. You just want to draw a little O. And from this O, you're just going to have a few lines that are curves that come off and bend around. Okay, and with those in place, then on the inside of each curve, what you're going to do is you're going to draw other lines that branch off of it, but mock the curve that's next to it. That is Ovolution. I actually really like the 3D effect of it and how it looks like one part is spilling out from underneath the next part. Kind of like how you would try to do a bow almost. But yeah, I think this is really pretty. But I'm gonna go ahead, leave this tangle here, and move on to the next one. The fourth tangle I have for you all today is called Tora, and it is by Cookie. And the way you want to get started with this one is you're gonna start by drawing a very wonky triangle. So it's okay if your lines aren't perfectly straight. Okay, so with that in place, then what you want to do is between any two corners of the triangle, you want to have a piece that comes out, makes it look kind of jagged, and connects the two corners. You can add some accent marks off on the sides, and you could even have, say, part of it curl over. And then in the middle, you can kind of just fill it in however you want. This is Tora. The middle portion, as I said, is something you can fill in however you wish. It kind of makes it look like you're looking at something on the next page. You can choose to add shadow lines so that way the edge pieces that you drew in pop off a bit more. But yeah, I think this is really fun. I highly recommend experimenting around with it. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next tangle. The fifth tangle I have for you all today is called Bebop by Fern Foster. And the way you want to get started with this one is you want to pick a base point and you want to alternate between having long lines that come out from it and short lines. Okay, and then at your base point, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a thicker circle to represent that base point. And then on top of the long lines that you drew outgoing, you want some larger circles that come off of them with the bottom of the two actually attaching to it. And then with the shorter of the two lines that you drew coming out, you want to then just add 3 dots that come off the end. And that is D-boops. I think this is really cute. Nice, easy one to get used to. Could be used to emphasize some corners, to mock up some fireworks. As you can see off in the images on the right, you can do this with curved lines. They don't have to be straight. The key there is you really just want to focus on that alternation between shorter curves versus longer curves. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is really, really cute. Highly recommend you experiment with it, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on. The 6th tangle I have for you all today is called Spur, and it is by Cindy Angeal. And the way you get started with this one is you want to create a bunch of, bunch as in a collection, not as in quantity, of 3 circles. So 1, 2, 3. And off the top of one of those circles, you just want to do little antennae that come off of it and curl around. And we could connect this to another one that's, say, over here. And you could use this to make a nice little border piece. I think this one's really, really cute, pretty quick to do. And of course you can fill in these little circles however you want. I'm just gonna leave mine as is and go ahead and move on to the next tangle. The 7th tangle I have for you all today is called Forbol, and it is by Carlos Cano. And the way you get started with this one is in the center of the space you're working in. You just want to do a tiny little circle, and off of that circle you want to draw lines that go out and form an X. And then between any 2 adjacent pieces of the X, you want to draw a double curved line that curves out, in, and out before connecting. And also on the inside of this, you just want to draw lines that go out towards the swells. Okay, then off of the just the slight inside of the swell, you want to have lines that go outward. And you want to connect any 2 that share an X leg in the same manner that you joined the edges of the X's. And you can continue to do this and add as many layers as you wish. And then in this huge gaps, as you go out, you can just do little curves that come up and off and down into the center in order to connect everything back up. Is how you do Forbol. Again, you can add as many layers to this as you wish. given the size of the space that I'm working with, I don't feel comfortable going out another layer. But I highly encourage playing around with it and figuring out how this all works together. But for now, I'm going to leave this one here and move on to the next tangle. The 8th tangle I have for you all today is called Chai Teas, and it is by Lin Chu. And so the way this one works is you're going to start by drawing a double lined base that is going to work as your stem, and then off the side of one of them you kind of want to do this long drawn out S or integral symbol, kind of like how we made the fish fins in Jasmine from my last Zen Doodle with me episode. And you want to do another one as you come down, but you want it to have a slightly larger swell towards the bottom. Okay, and then also along here, you just want to add a little stripe that follows the curve. Okay, so with those in place, then off the top, we're kind of going to do a partial teardrop that comes up, and the other part of it that comes down and connects into the rest of the base. And then all that's left to do is to draw lines that mimic these curves going out and around. And that is Chai Teas. And as you can see in the image off on the right hand side of the screen, there's a ton of ways that you could do either multiple of these. You could color them in a little bit differently. You could arrange them differently, depending upon what it is that you're looking for. This is really all I want in order to show the basic step for doing this tangle. And I'm going to leave this one here and move on to the next tangle. The 9th tangle I have for you all today is Mike the Mouse. So this is a little cartoon that we can do. And this one is from Harp Tunes, which they have a book all about how to create little characters based off of letters from the alphabet or the number system. And so the way we're going to get started with Mike is we're going to start by drawing a number 2. Nothing fancy, really basic, like back when you first learned to draw a number 2. And in the upper curve, on the inside of that, we're just going to draw an oval. And from where we started the 2, we're just going to draw 2 circles that are going to act as eyes, and we can add little pupils to them. Then coming down from the oval that we drew for the nose, we're just going to draw a line that connects it to the 2. And from that line, add a rectangle that we're also going to divide to make teeth. And then on either side of the line that we drew connecting the nose, we can add 2 sets of 3 dots to add a little bit of character. And then off of the eyes, we're just going to do 2 circles that almost meet all the way back up. And we're going to double those. And these are going to be Mike's ears. And then coming down from where the ears meet the eyes, we're just going to bring a line straight down. And also on the front part of the two, or I say front, but I mean the far side of the two, at the base here, we're just going to draw a line that curves in slightly. And then we're going to add little half circles to these two lines that are coming in. And add some hands. A line that connects the 2 feet to finish out its stomach. Adding some lines into the feet to create toes. And then we can add a little tail that swings up and out. And since this is a mouse tail, we want the end to be sharp. But we can bring it back in and add some banding for a little bit of texture. And that is Mike the mouse, who is now your little character mouse to keep you company through the end of the month. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave him here. All right, so that is all the tangles for the Zen Art Challenge in the month of July. I found a lot of these tangles to be really fun and really pretty, and I definitely want to use them again in my own work. As a quick note, upcoming for the month of August, I'm going to be a little bit late with the first video. I'm traveling for the next 2 weeks on a conference for work, and so I'm going to be unable to film in time for the first of the month. And so when I come back from that, I'll film those episodes that I missed and get you all caught up. And I appreciate your patience with that. But yeah, this is it though for this month. I hope you all enjoyed. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more Zen Doodle with me videos from me, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and have a wonderful rest of the month of July. Bye.